lack of ability to raise. How much did I raise? I raised $60,000 last year. That's it. A statewide race would require $500,000. A U.S. House race would be $1 million. I have no ability to do that. I have absolutely no ability to do that. Lack of infrastructure, a statewide infrastructure, lack of any kind of support groups like Emily's List or Emerge Vermont, nothing. Now you might say, oh well, there are a lot of national groups like Elise Stefanik, right? She's trying to get a lot of women come into Congress. That's right, that's true. But you've got to look at states. If you have money and you want to invest in the candidates, you want to make sure that those candidates actually win. Vermont is not one of them. In the RNC's calculus, Vermont doesn't figure. So to be able to get that funding from them, you can have a dynamic candidate. You want to support that candidate, but if that person is definitely going to lose, why not take that money and put it in Nevada or in Idaho? So then there is a huge bitterness within the VTGOP over a candidate like me, or me personally. I don't know why. A Guy Page, who runs Vermont Daily Chronicle, he said, Meg, I don't know why you get under the skin of all these men. There's that real nastiness, a real, like, it's personal. The animus is personal, and I really actually don't know why, because it's not like anything's happened. It's just that I seem to evoke that. And I'm very polarizing. You can either love me or absolutely despise me, but there's no sort of lukewarm. And unfortunately for the people who are in positions of influence in the Vermont Republican Party, I'm not exactly, I'm persona non grata. So that's a problem, right? Because if you don't have money, you don't have anything, you obviously, and the ones who do exist are going to look to elected officials who will say, stay away from Meg. Then the biggest thing is just me as a person. I think that I need to grow. Nancy Sunderland, I don't know her personally, but she wrote a really wonderful comment thanking me for speaking fearlessly about all these kinds of topics that so many people share, but they can't, because they lose their job, or I don't know, their neighbor will burn their house down, that, because it's come to that. And what I want to say is that to Nancy and to everybody is that I am terrified. I am terrified to be ripped apart by the left. They are vicious. They're absolutely vicious. I mean, Marianne Williamson, who ran for president, she was caught in a hot mic saying that she's on the left. She said that when people on the right disagree, right, they're respectful. They're just like, okay, I wish you well, or God bless you, or but they respectfully disagree. If people on the left disagree with you, they'll rip you apart. They'll bite your head off. And she's on the left, and she was able to make that observation. In 2017, Wired magazine ran a poll, gauging which state is the most vicious, most venomous online. When you look at the online interactions, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, which state is the worst? And you know which one it is? It's Vermont. Vermont, with like 520,000 adults. That is the level of attack you get. And so it's really natural. It's natural to feel scared, right? And I want you all to know that it seems like here I am, strong Meg, fearless Meg. I'm terrified. When I did the VPR debate, when I'm, with all those leftists, I was mortified. I was like, oh my God, I have to be so careful about what I say. And people come at you with all kinds of negative terrorizing, basically. They're trying to terrorize you. People call it cancel culture. I think it's terror culture, where you just want to terrorize the person silence them and make sure that they never, not they, not anybody else ever dares to question the orthodoxy, whatever the chosen narrative is, whatever everybody's supposed to believe. You can never ever have anybody in a public space question that, let alone disprove it. You know, politics is a bloodbath, right? It's, you just want to win, and whoever is your opponent, you're going to, you know, rip them apart. But I took it really personally. I just took it like, I didn't take it in a, I just didn't take it right. There was Scott Milne came in, and of course he defeated me. And I have nothing against him. I actually know Scott, and I think he's a nice person. I have nothing against him, but I just didn't understand that why would his team, you know, when Vermont Digger did these profiles on different candidates, why was Milne's entire profile about how I'm the most ridiculous human being on earth? I just didn't understand that. You know, I'm volatile. There's nothing there. I'm not viable. And then on Twitter, their proxies telling me, "Oh, is this how you run a campaign?" And then of course I was like, well, if people are going to attack me for no reason, it's not constructive criticism. They're going to attack me for no reason. Well, I have to fight back, right? I have to stand up for myself. Or VPR, when they were talking about it, you know, they made it like 2020 is the year of the woman, and they make a whole list of Democratic women candidates because they want to equate Democratic Party female candidates with female candidates, you know, completely erase the fact that there can be women voters and candidates who are independent or Republicans. I called them and I had this whole argument about, why have you erased the fact that I am actually a female candidate? I'm actually running. I'm in this debate. And I thought I was justified. I said, no, that's how you do it. That's what you've got to do. You've got to fight back. And when I did that, then people say, well, you're so prickly, or, you know, you have you're a grievance collector. You sit and collect grievances and injustices that have been done against you. And for a long time, I thought, you know, this is hypocrisy, right? The only reason I think that this campaign took off to whatever extent it did is because of me being authentic. You know, I think people connected with me, and they saw that I feel things fully, that I mean what I say, and I'm really committed to this. And so people appreciate that authenticity. But then when I'm hurt, when people attack me and I show it, then, well, no, then we can't have it. My mentors, for example, really asked me to do some soul searching and think about, is that the right approach? They're gonna come at me with everything they have, but that's what they should do, right? If they don't want me or anybody else on the right to be standing up, so they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. But the way that I was processing it was harmful, and in the end, counterproductive. My husband, my best friends here said that it you know, it was too damaging. Not the loss, but the negativity, the toxicity, like psychologically. I think I started feeling like unsafe, and now I think this word unsafe has been really misused by the left when they talk about trauma and safe spaces and things like that. But I really felt always under attack, and I just started feeling very defensive. So, you know, when you think that you're under attack, like people are always after you, it's like you wake up every morning and you drink a glass of poison, and you do it every day. So after a while, you're the one who's filled with the poison, right? You're the one who's sick. When I look at that, when I look at all these things that have happened, I think, well, what is it that I want to do? Do I want to continue, or do I want to keep drinking the poison? Do I want to be able to make a meaningful difference in a sustainable way, right? If I want to do that, then the way that I'm processing things, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. I need a paradigm shift as far as what are they doing and how am I going to react to that or not react to that. And I think I need to become stronger emotionally. I think I just need to find a way to be more forgiving, and not take it so personally. I think that I'm strong, but I don't do myself any justice. I don't do my husband or the people around me any justice if I fall apart, right? If it's not about just putting a candidate up because you want somebody to vote for. This is a really, it's like nasty business, right? They always say, oh, politics is so hard and it's ugly. So whoever steps up, right? Unless they have a lot of money and they're Phil Scott, really most popular governor in the nation. So even though you're Republican in a deep blue state, you're fine. Those are exceptions. I'm just saying, like, somebody like me in my position, stepping up to this would be, being completely naked in front of this army of like vicious, angry people who just want to tear you apart. So if you're putting that person up there, you want to make sure that the person is psychologically ready, strong, and resilient to be able to do that. And unfortunately, I'm just not. So, I'm not saying that this is me forever. I'm learning and I'm growing all the time, and it starts with forgiving yourself, right, for failing. It starts with being kind to yourself, and then being kind to all the other people who who I thought were out to get me and wronged me. So it's a process in self-growth. And people say, oh, America's this culture of like TMI, too much information, self-help, Oprah. What is Meg sitting and spilling everything out for? Well, it's because, like I said, I'm really grateful to everybody who's encouraging me and who wants me to run for the House. And I was saying in the comments that I want to stay here in Vermont, and I want to build a foundation here. I want to do something here, not in DC. But the thing is, even if that was the case, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I don't have the resources, external or internal, to be able to mount such an enormous and important and consequential undertaking. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm sorry if you feel that I failed you. But this is the honest truth. And in order to build trust, I need to be transparent about my failings and my flaws, as well as, my talents.